Principle number 3, how do you live with sexual integrity? Principle number 3, prefer God over sin. Prefer God over sin. Verse 9, he says, so how could I do this immense evil, and how could I sin against God? How could I do this immense evil, and how could I sin against God? Now this is the key to victory over sin, all sin. What is the key to victory over sin? It is preferring God over sin. What's the key to sexual integrity? Preferring God over sexual sin. In order to live with integrity, we have to love something or someone more than the sin, namely God. The root of sin is the promise of life and joy apart from God. So why do people sin sexually? Well, they're hoping to find life and joy apart from God. Think about the tree in the Garden of Eden, where the serpent comes to Eve and says, listen, you can eat from that tree, you can disobey God, and you can live. You can have life and joy and wisdom apart from what God says, apart from God himself. You can be wise in your own strength. You can be wise and have life apart from your Creator. And see, sexual sin is the promise of life and joy apart from God. That's what it is. And there is something about sex that is euphoric. It is euphoric. There's something about being naked with another person, vulnerable with another person, wanted by another person, desired by another person, enjoyed by another person that is euphoric. And that's why, if you do a little reading of history, when different cultures sing about sex, they write songs about sex, it's almost always more than just something physical. It is physical, but it's more than physical. I was studying this passage at Starbucks this week, and I heard a Bruno Mars song. I haven't thought about it in a long time, but this is the song. He says, never had much faith in love or miracles. Ooh. Never want to put my heart on the line. Ooh. But swimming in your waters, something spiritual. It's more than physical. It is something spiritual. I'm born again every time you spend the night. Ooh. He says, because your sex takes me to paradise. Yeah, your sex takes me to paradise. It's euphoric. He's saying, listen, I'm born again. Something happens to me. It's spiritual. It's this incredible experience. And that's what sex does. That's what the images on your phone, that's what it's promising you. It's promising you something euphoric. It's promising you life and joy apart from God. But here's the problem. As you already know, that sex doesn't take anybody to paradise. That's not the way that this works. Sex is a good gift to be enjoyed between one man, one woman in marriage. But outside of that, you begin to experience the guilt and the shame that comes along with sexual sin. And see, sexual sin is not primarily about lust. That's not primarily what it's about. It's about misplaced worship. It's about trying to find in the sexual experience something that only God can give us. And so the choice was pretty clear for Joseph. This is what it comes down to for Joseph, and this is what it's going to come down to for you. Do I prefer sex with Potiphar's wife or walking intimately with God? Day by day, this is what it comes down to. Do I prefer the sexual pleasure that is promised with Potiphar's wife, or do I prefer God? And when we prefer God over our sexual sin, we begin to overcome our temptation. We begin to live in the victory that God has provided for us. And I say this because so often when people think about living with sexual integrity, this is the way that our minds can work. We can think, I need accountability partners in my life. I need good filters on my phone. I need good filters on my computer or my tablet. I need people checking in with me. And please don't misunderstand me. All of that is good, but it's supplemental. It's all supplemental. The root issue in sexual integrity it will always be God himself. It will always be God himself. Joseph did not have accountability partners here. He did not have anyone checking in on him. And again, that stuff is good and it has a place, but it is supplemental. The root issue is it's whether or not God is worthy of our lives. It's whether or not God is glorious to us. It's whether or not we know him and love him. And this is where you begin to get traction in the struggle against sexual temptation. It's when we walk with God. And I think so often what happens is we don't like the guilt and the shame that comes with sexual sin, but at the same time, we don't know if we want to give ourselves entirely to the Lord Jesus Christ. And I just think there isn't victory. There is not long-term victory over sin apart from the Lord Jesus Christ. All of the victory over all sin comes through him. It comes from knowing him.